where the term computer bug came from. Does being optimistic make you more healthy? Where did the moon come from? Brain-computer interfaces. Stick around till the end for a bonus fact as well. Hey guys, welcome to episode number 3 of The More You Know. It's a series on YouTube where we go through interesting facts that we find on the internet. Let's get into the first one. So let's talk about the first computer bug. Where did the first computer bug ever come from? So on September 9th, 1947, the world's first computer bug was discovered. Being a computer engineer myself, I've always wondered where the term bug actually came from. So a team of computer scientists at Harvard were working on the Mark II, which was one of those massive computers back in the day. So the thing kept glitching, the computer kept glitching, and they didn't know why. So it was driving them nuts, they were getting a lot of errors, nothing was working right. Back then the computers weren't exactly user-friendly either. It was kind of hard to figure out what was wrong, so they decided to open it up to see if any part was causing an issue. And what they actually found was a real bug in there that was causing the hardware issue. A moth was stuck in the hardware. So they carefully removed the moth and they taped it to a book to document what was causing the issue. So they taped it into their logbook saying that this is the first actual case of a bug being found. So that was when debugging was born, and it's all thanks to a tiny little insect. A quick side note, the part of the team that actually found this was under Dr. Grace Hooper. She was a pioneer in computer engineering. She's made the incident quite famous because she's kind of like a rock star of her time. She had a PhD in mathematics from Yale. She made the first English language data processing compiler. So that laid the groundwork for a lot of modern programming languages. So yeah, without her, we wouldn't have had the user-friendly programming languages that we do have now. So that is where debugging actually came from. So next time you're stuck on a piece of code that's causing issues and you have to find an error, at least you're not opening the hardware to find real bugs in your machine. I don't know if any of you guys have wondered where did the moon actually come from. So I was looking into this, and it's really a story of a lot of chaos and destruction, to be honest. So around 4.5 billion years ago, it's quite chaotic with debris flying all over our solar system. It was clumping together, crashing, and amidst all this mayhem, our young Earth gets hit by something which was the size of Mars approximately. Or it could have even been a series of objects. The cataclysmic impact flings a massive amount of molten and vaporized debris into space. And basically from all this cosmic wreckage that it flung into space, our moon was born. So yeah, the moon literally came out of the Earth's destruction. Initially, we thought that the moon was an object that came close to the Earth's surface, and due to the Earth's gravity, it started revolving around the Earth. But in the 60s and 70s, the Apollo missions brought back lunar samples, which really revolutionized research done about the moon and what it's made of. The moon was molten during its formation and had a large amount of magma around it. So that only makes sense if it is formed from a high impact collision. Besides that, also the moon rocks revealed quite a lot. So a lot of the oxygen isotopes and different other elements matched what we have on Earth very similarly for it to just be a coincidence. So yeah, that kind of solidified the theory that the moon was actually once a part of Earth. But there is still a bit of a kicker. There are a few differences between the Earth and Moon which are still raising a few questions. Like the Moon's core is much less iron-rich than compared to the Earth. One possible theory for that is that when the Moon split off from the Earth, some of the lighter metals got vaporized, so only the heavier metals stayed. Also, the Moon's orbit and its gradual drift away from the Earth suggests that it was much closer to the Earth when it was formed, which would mean that the Earth's spin rate was higher than what it is now. Also, the moon's near and far surface have a lot of differences in terms of its crust thickness, its geological makeup, as well as volcanic activity. So the scientists are still wrestling on how these differences are even present. So yeah, the moon is like our little lunar buddy that was born out of chaos and is slowly drifting away. Brain-computer interfaces. Okay, so let's talk about controlling a computer with just your mind. Now that sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but we're inching closer and closer to that reality. brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, are taking us much, much closer to that reality. So BCI is like a direct link between any computer and your brain, or any external device in your brain. So the potential applications are quite mind-blowing. There's everything right from rehabilitation to robotics to gaming to neuroscience. You could be playing your favorite video game without a controller and just with your mind. So BCIs have been around for a while, but they've been making a lot of waves of late. Researchers are uncovering ways to decode brain signals, allowing people with physical limitations to regain some control over their lives. It may be a game changer for people who can't communicate in traditional ways or can't move in traditional ways. So it's not all smooth sailing. There are quite a few limitations as well. So there's ensuring reliable signal, making sensors less invasive as well, and dealing with ethical considerations, which is a big part. And obviously regulatory approval for human trials, and the number of people who are even ready to undergo these human trials is a low number as of right now. Elon Musk and his company Neuralink as well have been making a lot of waves. They've recently actually started human trials, and they've released snippets or videos of people. So there was a user who could move a mouse with his mind, and he was playing chess as well. There's a video of him doing that. Let me try and add it here if I can.
I mean, when I first actually moved the cursor with my mind, it blew my mind for like a whole day. And to be helping, to be able to be useful in some way, it completely changed how I live.
There are other countries also like Synchron who have been quietly making progress as well. Even though there is a lot of optimism about it, there is skepticism as well. If you play devil's advocate, actually implanting a chip in your brain could have negative implications, especially from privacy, especially if there's a central organization that's going to hold this kind of data. If you just think into the future, that could be our future. Like we have a phone now, we probably won't even have a phone, and that would be just a chip in our head. Maybe even communication would be through that chip. So there are endless possibilities on where this could go. Obviously, we need to proceed with caution like anything, and try to find a balance and not go too much into the cyborg territory. But from the perspective of people who have some sort of limitation, I think this is great for them, especially if you can control a computer with your mind when you're unable to move or you're paralyzed. I think that's amazing. Stephen Hawking's communicating even faster than a typist. That would be crazy. That is the dream, and with brain-computer interfaces, it could actually become a reality. Can being happy actually increase your lifespan? Happiness and healthiness are linked. So there are some people who just breeze through life, right? Happy-go-lucky people. And they always see the bright side of things. Maybe sometimes if you're a pessimist, these kind of people may even annoy you. But turns out that sunny outlook may actually be a secret source to healthier, longer life. So yeah, I'm talking about optimism, and it does pack a punch when it comes to your health. So let's dive into the science. Multiple studies have shown that optimism can actually affect your health. So optimism isn't just wearing rose-colored glasses, but it's actually believing that things will turn out for the best. One research where over 300 patients were scheduled for heart surgery, they found that those with a sunny disposition were only half as likely to be re-hospitalized. And that's not all. Optimists undergoing angioplasty were 3 times less likely to suffer heart attacks or need repeat procedures. Besides that, it's also shown to lower blood pressure, reduce the risk of hypertension, and even a healthier immune system. Some studies even suggest that optimists may even recover faster from a common cold. Talk about turning that frown upside down. It's not just about feeling good today. Optimism could be the key to a longer life as well. Studies spanning decades have shown that optimistic folks tend to outlive their gloomier counterparts. From low rates of cardiovascular disease to reduced risk of even cancer, optimism seems to be the gift that keeps on giving. So what is the takeaway from this is that I don't think it costs us anything to be more optimistic and see the brighter things in life. I know it's easier said than done. There are a lot of times where we feel like life has kicked us down, and it's easier to feel that or be more pessimistic, maybe keep our expectations down. But this kind of research actually really surprised me and blew my mind. And if a small step like this can go a long way in giving us healthier lives, I think nothing is more important than our personal health. So if we can do this even to a small percentage, and maybe these studies, I'm not sure how accurate the studies are even, but I don't think it costs us anything to be more optimistic, to see the brighter things in life, see the glass half full, and actually believe that things will work out for the best. Whether it's finding humor in tough situations or just believing that tomorrow will be better than it is today. So cultivating optimism could be the secret to unlocking a healthier, happier life. So go ahead and embrace the silver lining on things, and your body may thank you for that. So coming to the bonus fact for the day, muscle. Where did the word muscle actually come from? Muscle actually comes from a Latin term which means little mouse. Any guesses as to why? It's because the ancient Romans thought that when you flex a muscle, it actually looks like a little mouse. So yeah, they thought biceps resembled little mice. And there you go, the more you know. Thanks for tuning in, guys, to a new episode today. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe. I'm trying to improve every time, so any feedback would be really appreciated. You can leave it down in the comment section. Once again, thank you. Thank you if you made it this far, and yeah, I'll see you next time.